Hello, everyone, and welcome to Defense of the Patients, a Dota 2 podcast, and soon to be a lot more podcast. I am Roland, joined by
Cyphus, and we are super lazy. No, we're not lazy. We traveled all day yesterday, 12 hours in the car coming back from TI.
Super lazy.
So we've got a real basic setup of the equipment. We're going to get everything back in working order here pretty soon. We didn't release Monday. We are going to do a re-release today, Tuesday, but we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming tomorrow, Wednesday, August 16th.
Yep, so
17th.
August 17th, yep, the Wednesday. So what you're hearing here is when we got back from TI last year and how we felt and our hype. This year was pretty rough. Like, it was a blast, don't get me wrong, but it was just, like, pretty demanding. So, two different experiences, but great experiences all in all. And
it should be noted, EZ Mrcz is on this episode. Wazoo, the four of us just kind of...
No, I'm not there. I went to bed.
I think you're...
No, I went to bed, and you guys gave me shit. I went to bed.
I don't remember that. But
I went to bed before this episode was recorded, so I'm not even on it. But good luck, guys. No, I'm actually on this episode, so yeah. I made a mistake, but I don't want to go back and fix the other bumper. You know what I mean? So here it is. Enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode, a post-TI5 episode of Defense of the Patients. We're a gaming podcast with a Dota 2 problem lately.
Yeah, I think I have the biggest problem of anybody here.
We all have different severities of levels of the same problem.
We'll get into that a little later.
So I'm your host, Cyphus. I'm sitting here with my co-host, Roland.
Hello.
Co-host, EZ Mrcz.
I'm going to go by Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead today.
And co-host, Wazoo.
How's it going, guys?
And we are all recording... I think this is the first time... This is the first it's happened.
The first time everybody that has... I don't want to say, like... I feel like I'm shooting myself in the foot. Like, everybody that has, like, contributed in a major way to Defense of the Patients right here.
I would say sans Blue, because Blue has been contributing. Like, he's become...
But
You're still leaving people out. And you can't
I know. That's why I felt so... I'm just saying, like, these are the people that I will consult with on a daily basis, talk with on a daily basis. I live with one of them. One of them basically lives with me. And then one of them lives in California, and I'm gonna tell Safeway they should get Safeways here.
I would never come here. You guys need to come to California.
You wouldn't move here?
Fuck no.
Really?
The amount of time we spent trying to find a place that was fucking open that we can eat today. Get the fuck out.
But it's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Yeah, dude, it's God's day.
And you guys are too good for this place. Get out. You guys are trapped here. You don't even know it.
It's nice though. There's mountains and
it's a beautiful area.
Our cost of living is dirt cheap too.
He was saying it's similar. We talked about
this. This is not any more expensive than a house where I live. I don't live.
We talked about this.
There are expensive parts of California and expensive parts.
Yeah, if you want to go live in the city, you can go live in the city. You can live in Seattle, or you can live in the outskirts.
Yeah.
You can pay $8 million to live in Seattle with a house that's on what I think this is a half acre, or you can pay anyway, whatever.
Yeah, somebody there was telling us it was like $250 a square foot to rent.
Yeah, I was talking to EZ about some photo I saw. Where it was like $8,000 in New York a month, like was like a 2-bedroom apartment that you'd see, you know what I mean? And then it showed what it would be in India, and it was like this lavish, beautiful like mansion of a palace that you could live in for $8,000.
Well, I mean, even around here, you could probably
$8,000 a month would be. $8,000 a month here would be a monster house too. Yeah,
sure.
I mean, we were paying $1,000 a month for our first house.
Yeah,
here, but between 4 people. Anyway, that's fucking who cares about that?
You guys are on the right track. We go to India. We get a palace. That's where we start our official pro Dota 2 team.
Dota Palace, dude.
The Dota Palace?
Who's coming up out of India right now?
The Taj Mahal. Could we do any pun like the Dota Mahal? I don't know.
I'm sure
That's kind of
something
lame.
exists out there that you could do.
The Taj Mahal. The Taj Mahal and
The
Dota.
Hajamahoda.
the Tusk Mahal.
Like, I don't know. You could find something.
Anyway, this is cool because and it's hard at the same time coming back to doing this podcasting because I've been in this weird different mode.
Oh, I know.
Where I've been not like I don't know I've been trying to cut conversations short. I've been trying to get concise answers. I've been trying, instead of trying to extrapolate with you all, I'm kind of like, what's your name? How are you? What's your MMR? What's going on? Why are you here? Are you excited? And it's just like, it feels good to be like home and take a deep breath.
So for frame of reference, for those who are listening, because some people have no idea what the hell we've been doing. Really what we've been doing the past 4 or 5 days. So we were at TI, as you all know, hopefully, and Roland was just running around with that Tascam and trying to snag, and it looks like a taser.
It looks exactly like a taser.
Looks like the Batman.
Some guy at the bar. I was holding it up to a girl in the line. Like, she was a Dota player. She had the wizard hat on. I was like, "What's your MMR?" Blah 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 blah. Recording, and he's like, "Hey bro, what the fuck is that?" And I was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And then put it up to him, and he realized, he's like, "Oh, that's a recorder." And I got his MMR too. You guys will hear this. We're gonna be packaging this nicely, but yeah, he thought I was like tasing a girl in the mouth in line, waiting for a
what?
drink.
It's my taser. I'm mouth tasing people at the bar.
Yeah, no.
So and then on the flip side, if you were getting an interview with somebody who was big, and
everybody there was big. Everybody there
was
big, dude. Everybody there that I talked to was awesome.
Well, I just mean the big names in the community, the Sheevers.
Well, Blitz was the funniest. Blitz was the funniest.
The big names in the community, like the Dillinois.
Oh, I want to get to
the King of Dudes.
The real fans, right? The real people that were there to hang out with .P. Thank you guys for showing up. That was super awesome.
The top 3 big was PPD, I guess, was a big one because it was cool that the crowd that gathered around.
And the first one, ironically.
The first interview, we had just got done eating our first meal in Seattle, not our first meal in Seattle, but like we woke up, we went to this restaurant Agave that was right next to the International. It was a Mexican restaurant. It was delicious. And I see Ashley Christ walk by. I'm like, oh my god, I would yell if this wasn't such a nice restaurant, Ashley Christ. And then we get done eating, and PPD is just like, I'm like, yo, dude.
Walking up the street as we walk.
I was like, that is PPD to our left. And he walks by, and I'm like, hey, can I have 45 seconds of your time? He's like, I don't know, man. 45 seconds is a lot to me right now. I was like, okay, 15. And then we grabbed the recorder, and the wind fucked with that recording.
It was
not
cool.
that bad, dude. It
sucked.
It's like a faded baseball photograph.
But Blitz was the most informal one of them all. We're just walking down the street for the bar crawl, right? And I'm interviewing just some random person that's also at the bar crawl, and all of a sudden this dude's just like touching me on the arm and like feeling my hair.
I don't want to talk about it too much because that interview, we're packaging a lot of those interviews. They're going to come to you in a special way soon.
Anyway, I'll just say that Blitz in real person
he molested you.
And he wouldn't let me molest him back. He was like, this is a one... I was like, well, I'm going to touch your hair. And he's like, you can't. And I was like, why? And he's like, because this is a one-way relationship. And I was like, thank you for letting me know before I went into it.
Let it be, dude.
I did.
Oh, he dominated you, dude. You got blitzed.
But he bombed somebody else's interview. It was like, hi, I'm sitting here with somebody else. And then all of a sudden, Blitz was touching me on the hair. And I was like, who are you? And Danny's like, that's Blitz. And I was like, oh my god, hi.
Maybe the girl gave him the signal, the non-verbal cue that you didn't pick up to like come intercept and like get you the fuck out of there. So he just came groping.
Oh yeah, maybe he was saving her.
Maybe, I don't know.
From the taser in the mouth, dude. That was his tactic.
I don't know. He could have slithered up on you.
So I want to ask you, do we want to talk about that event on this episode, or do we want to save the...
No, yeah, we can talk about the interviews that we had. There's absolute. We can.
If you want
to blow your wad right now, that's fine.
I want to talk about the tournament more.
I mean, I'm not going to. Okay, I talked to a lot of people. That's it. That's all we're going to say about that for this show.
I just mean that specific event because I would like to...
We got 186 interviews.
Well, I just mean that event because there's kind of a fun story that evolved over the course of that evening.
Okay, go ahead and tell the story you want to tell.
No, I'm saying, should we just hold off on that?
Yes.
And let that episode come out naturally?
Correct.
I mean, okay.
I think so too.
All right.
Creating. On the fly.
For me, I think the trip was different things to different people. Like, Roland, my brother, was working his ass off. Like, I've never seen a guy put in, like, such hard work and know the names and know the faces and just know. I can't do that, man. I'm like, oh, like sitting down outside, and he's like running around still after like his 8th hour, and I'm just like, I can't even think. Like, I see my own cousin, and I'm like, is that my cousin? Like, that's my brain, and this guy can like fucking pick like 20 people out of 20 and never get it wrong. I respect that, but for me, it was definitely a vacation.
That was nice,
and I just like wanted to go and sit and relax and get some games. And Dota has always been like my escape. and it's been my escape in hard times. And I talked to Gorgon a bit about this while I was there, and for me, this was just a physical representation of that escape, and it blew me away. Blew away 100% expectations, which nothing does in my adult life, really.
Yeah.
So that's what the trip was for me, anyway. It was, it like reoriented me. It felt like different things for different people. I think
Eric wanted to talk about perspectives because he's like, "Yo, like
that'd be a great."
We
like,
all had a way different view of this trip, even though we were always in close proximity of one another. We were all motivated to say different things.
Definitely.
And it was really cool to see, I don't know, everybody come alive and enjoy themselves in their own way.
Yeah.
And I was having fun. Like, you say it was working my ass. Like, well, I didn't. It wasn't work. That's why I was.
Everybody, everybody you talk to, we're having a good time talking with.
There was only one person, and it was just some random guy. Okay, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if I get an interview with you? I'm just trying to capture TI for people that aren't here. And he's like, will you please go harass someone else? Wow. And I was like, hey, have a nice day. I was like taken aback by it because everybody had been like so gracious and kind, like, absolutely, who are you? What's your name? Like, tell me about it. And he was just like, go harass someone else. And I was just like, whoa, dude, okay, have a nice day.
Like you're a paparazzi of like intimate moments and you're just like, give me your good feelings.
Like I just wanted to put him on the show and let him, say hi to everybody.
It's not like you're trying to exploit anything.
Yeah. I was just like,
hey man, that guy had secrets.
Yeah, that guy.
He didn't want you to start digging, man.
He took a step forward at me too, which was the scariest part.
You should have said
like he was like,
"Whoa, daddy issues."
And he took his time to be like, "Hey,
killed.
Go harass someone else." And I was just like, at first I was like setting up the recorder, just like just assuming I'm just gonna get this interview, and just okay, I gotta press this button and this button, put it in the right folder, and then this guy's just like, get the fuck away from me, bitch! And I'm just like, whoa, all right.
Everybody there was...
That was my perspective. It was just fun. It was fun to get the interaction with people.
But otherwise, everybody there was exceptionally nice. I mean, that aside from the people in the community, the .P folks like that. Besides, even outside of all those people, they were all exceptionally nice.
I dropped my sunglasses and they went down like 4 rows, remember? And
the whole crowd
got up and put their cell phone lights on and helped me find my sunglasses and gave them back to me.
Not even not without.
And I was like, please no. I was like, please
you were
no.
like, oh no, I'll find him. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
you were like, don't ruin your time.
Yeah,
it was in the middle of a game. In fact,
finals.
It was
EG versus LGD. Oh yeah,
and so like I mean that was an intense. Those were a couple of intense games.
And we'll get into that for sure. The experience.
Yeah, the whole crowd just instantly they are on top.
Like our whole row just stood up and like we're looking under seats, and it was like 4 rows way to the left, like way further than you would think they would go.
Had nobody helped, we probably wouldn't have found
No, and they were just like, hey, thanks, and it was just like, oh my God, like, thank you. And I was just like, hey. And I was embarrassed because, like, everybody has their lights on me. And like, yeah, I found them, thanks. Like, hey, I appreciate it. Bye-bye. Like, it's nice to see y'all. It was, anyway, my perspective of the whole event was just, it was kind of a flurry. I was kind of just like, I love watching Dota, and I'm going to go home and I'm going to rewatch all those games anyway. I'm in the stadium for the finals. I'm in the stadium for the semifinals, but let's meet the scene. Because I've been saying all these nice things about you. I want to see what you like. Yeah, and holy shit, you impressed me.
They did. I felt like actually sitting and watching and following a tournament and having a vested interest being there and having nothing else to do. Like, the timeline and the, kind of the plot line of the tournament changes completely. It's way more relative. I loved being there, man. And, like, just like, who won? And talking
so
to
energetic.
People. Yeah. Everyone. Like, there was just a buzz over the crowd. And it's different when you're home, like, watching it in bed on a stream or something. I don't know. It's something I will definitely do. It's like nerd burning, man. Like in a way. I felt like I found my nerd spirit once again. It's like nerding, man.
It was. It is like nerding, man. I hope you coined that because that is $1 million term.
I've never heard it before, and that was my nerding man.
Nerding man. Well, let's go around.
No, let's get Eric's perspective.
I guess let's go around and just talk about everybody's perspective, like what you did from day 1 to day 4 for us, right? From Thursday to Saturday, so 3 days.
Okay.
But do you want to kick it off? You have more to add to that?
Who's who?
I got to know all my internet friends really good, like Blue and Easy and what are your guys' names? And like Nameless Noob and like all these people that I've always known of.
Yeah.
I felt like I got to know, really well. Me and EZ had some great talks, and like I got advice and like talked to him about everything in my life, and that's cool. That's really cool to me.
It was obvious. They bonded.
Such a game that used to be like a source of constant salt and venom, like has actually been a huge relationship builder in my life, and it's not necessarily like common, but I think you'll see it be way more common in times to come. Yeah, this game's been really cool.
Man, that's weird to think about that everything that just happened over the course of, I mean,
you've been here almost a week
if you want, but I'm just talking about this week.
You've been here since Monday.
Dota 2
is
the catalyst.
But the talks that we've had have been so
beyond the game.
So
it's grown beyond the game, but that is
definitely
the thing, like the coming together point. So I mean, man, don't just take those other 4 people in the stack for granted. You never know who they may end up becoming and who you may end up meeting at the international. For me, the trip was about getting to see the .P people that we've been hanging out with and talking to all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, these were the people that were going to the international. These were the fans of the game that were able to make it to the tournament and wanted to hang out with us.
They wanted to spend we had to give people coming to our row and sitting by us.
Oh my god, dude, it was so fun. Like Mr. Blue is super awesome. His friend that is getting involved in the guild now is a really nice guy.
Both really cool.
Nameless Noob is a kid that is like an old man soul. Like that guy is
he's sharp.
He's got a head on his shoulders.
He's really sharp.
We didn't give him his shirt, and I had it.
You know what? I
had it there.
You had it in your backpack. I took the selfie with him for Hada Kamara. She wanted to do a. She wanted me to do a selfie.
He was bummed about his hair.
Shirts.
He was bummed about his hair being in his face. You took a bad picture. It's your photography skills,
man.
Nameless,
he's good with the microphone. He's not good with the camera.
Dude.
You can't make him be good with both.
I'm gonna be honest. Nameless, I pictured him to be like how I was when I was 15, like really uncomfortable with myself, insecure,
and kind of angry at adults in a way.
Insecure, angry, rebellious, annoying. Like when I was his age, Wazoo can attest to that.
I play World of Warcraft.
And to see him there, where he's like, no, my family and I just travel a lot, and I asked if I could travel here in August, and we did, and I'm now at the event. Is there anything else? And it's like, you were a fucking like eloquently spoken, cool fucking. Is he 16 or is he 15?
Cool, Ricky.
16?
Yeah, and he's
on the right path.
He's a super nice
guy. Oh, I was an idiot when I was that age. Oh my god.
King of Do, super nice guy.
I was an idiot.
Dillanoid.
Oh my god.
Dillanoid.
He is the energy bunny. The Energizer bunny.
Yes. Yeah,
Dillanoid is all about hype.
He runs on 2 beers.
Constantly.
That's right. And he has regenerative 2 beers. So when the 2 beers get low, somehow he like goes around the corner and comes back with recharged 2 beers. And I've never seen a man able to run so endlessly on 2 beers.
2 beers.
And as the night goes on, so does the Dillanoid. And he was a blast to hang out with. This guy's quick on his feet.
He bought Roland and I dinner.
No, he bought PPD and S4's drink.
Before
not PPD.
He might not have figured this out. This statement might not have hit the mailbox yet. You guys might be like, outing yourself on a $200 bill you're not aware of. So
no,
the picture's already on Twitter. We drank with Loda and
Dillanoid. If you're listening to this, because I don't think I caught up with him. Maybe you guys did on our last day there on Saturday. The event that we're not going to really get into right now, but we went there and Dillanoid was also there. And he had bought us dinner previously, and we were like, all right, you're letting us buy you drinks though tonight.
Then he's ordering drinks for fucking everybody.
He was ordering drinks for fucking everybody, and he orders me and Roland double gin and tonics. So we have a double gin and tonic.
I have my card out. Cyphus has his card out. Like, we're just like, what the fuck? And he's like, I haven't donated to the Patreon. This is what I'm gonna do for you guys.
And I tell him at the next bar, you got to let us get you a drink. You have to let me at least buy you one fucking drink. And we get to the next bar. Roland gets us kicked out.
Oh, we're going to tell that story right
away? You got kicked out of a bar?
We got kicked out.
Are you going to tell the truth? Or are we going to make up?
I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is fun.
All right, let me tell.
If
we have to,
this is how people get kicked out of bars at Nerding, man.
If we want to tell the truth, okay, I'll tell the truth. There was a guy at the door and he didn't want drinks on the street, okay?
And you did it anyway.
And I waited.
It was against the law.
Because apparently it's against the law to have, but I had just bought this gin and tonic and there was an interview I wanted to get outside.
Right.
Okay, and so
And nothing
naturally,
stops this motherfucker from an interview.
naturally,
Well, no.
I wait for him to. No, I wait for him to be distracted.
No, but he's just the reason he's distracted is because he is at that moment telling 3 people who were trying to walk out with drinks onto the fucking street. He's telling them, "No, you can't do that. You will get kicked out of this place. No, you cannot take your drink outside. It is
Let's
against
say I
the law."
took the risk.
And he walks by him as this guy's giving this fucking speech and slips out. And then he doesn't finish the drink outside before he walks back in.
And then he's like, no, at first he doesn't have a problem when I bring the drink back in. He's like, okay, that's fine. You're just going to have to dump this out. And I was like, okay. And I was like, but I got it from here. And he's like, you're fucking out. And it was like, all right, well, we got our interviews. Let's go, Cyphus.
And he confiscated the drink.
Of course he took the drink. I don't give a shit.
So you lost the drink too.
But I didn't care about the drink. I was polarized on getting out there for the interview.
You cared about the drink.
And I was like, how do I
You never fucking left the drink.
You cared about the drink.
You snuck the drink out.
I don't want to get
it back
roofied.
in.
But did you really
I don't want to
care
get
about the
roofied.
drink?
That's how you get
In the
roofied,
end?
leaving drinks around, dude.
Nobody's roofing you, bro.
They could.
I hate to break it to you, but nobody.
Hey,
You just
dude.
wake up and your Tascam's
dude.
gone and that's it.
My dad's like,
There's
oh,
this guy
those
running around with a
interviews.
taser. Put something in his fucking drink, please. One of us is gonna get shocked. Somebody
No,
knock
the
him
guy, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, I was super timid. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, and I didn't even, we were ready to go anyway. We were talking about
Yeah,
leaving
we had
anyway.
just talked about
so I was like,
leaving.
okay, well, I guess we have to go now. And so we did. And
Which is
we
good.
stayed
That
up
was
too
a good
late
time.
anyway.
Because that was a good time.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We
We
were
will get
we
into
were like
it.
getting
No.
ready to call it.
We'll
By the time you
we'll
guys
do the
got
story.
back.
We'll do the whole story of Crummy Wizard.
While
another
you
time.
guys were doing that, while you were doing that, we were eating pizza. He was unlocking chests, and I was playing 500 millisecond ping Dota as Enigma. I was 1 in 21, but we
Ursinity.
won because Ursinity's good at the game. I landed I landed 3-person black hole and 1 black hole just on the storm, and it was
That's good enough if
yeah,
it's a
dude,
storm.
It was good enough.
Yeah.
But I summoned Eidolons like 6 times, and Blue's voice would come in sometimes. Get the fucking Eidolons. Get the Eidolons.
Oh man, I would count how many attacks they'd do. That when I was playing Enigma a lot, because you get more when they attack 6 successful times.
Yeah, I know.
And so I would count them at 5 so I could get maximum efficiency on the next camp. That was one thing that I
But it
read.
didn't
I saw
result
Purge
in
do
any
it.
additional MMR, of course. We recently fucking moved on from Enigma.
I saw Purge do it, of course. Like, yeah.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, I
play
used to
carry
use
position,
notepaper
dude.
and shit, too.
Fear's old, dude. I'm old. According to that logic, I'll be.
But you
next.
haven't been playing for since Dota started.
There's something in his eyes that he sacrificed something. It's just like.
Oh, you think there was a trade, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'll be
Oh, my
honest.
God.
I forgot to share this thought with you guys, but his eyes looked really bloodshot up on the big Key Arena screen whenever they were coming in for
Probably
game
were,
2.
dude. They're moving around at like 360 million
I
miles
don't
an
know.
hour, dude.
I thought he looked.
It'd cause some
intoxicated.
friction.
I thought he looked
No,
stoned.
you're tripping, dude.
You thought he looked
He
stoned.
grew up in
You're
Oregon.
tripping, dude.
I don't
Grew up in
think
Oregon.
you can't say that.
I don't think
His eyes
you
look
get high.
bloodshot.
I don't think
It
you
was
get high
so
before you play
bloodshot.
for $6.6 million.
Yeah, I know. That's obviously.
Or
Yeah.
maybe you. I mean, it's video games.
No. I can't believe you'd even say that. I hope you get pitchforks.
Oh,
I hope people run you down with pitchforks and
You know who's
flames
my
for
favorite? You know
saying
who's
that.
my favorite player? Fear, man. He's so dope.
Fear?
He's
Really?
Like, he's up there, like, because he's not flashy, dude. He just,
Neither is Zai.
you know
I don't
why?
know. I was
you
really
know why he's
impressed
so
with
good at his
PvP.
position? Because he
Yeah.
is his position, dude. He can play any position, but
Universe.
he is a carry. He just gets his head down and he does his job.
you-
He's a great player.
And Owie 2000.
Dude,
And he's old like me.
Zai is maybe
And
the coolest
Sumail.
dude I've ever met.
Yeah, I met him as well.
Shaking his hand, I felt like the weight of the loss. Like it was like you know when Harry Potter touches Voldemort for the first time and sees like a flood of memories and like a flood of things happening. Like it felt like when the hand shook, it was like through all the games in practice for them to take like 12. And I felt the weight behind it and was just like, I said you're the best in the world. And
What
you're
if
my
in
favorite
that
player.
moment
And
you
he's
shook
like,
his
thank
hand?
you.
What if in that moment you transferred skills from some strange gypsy
And then,
curse?
well, we already played tonight,
Yeah, we
and we
know
know
it's
that
not
it
true.
didn't work.
Did you play off lane?
No.
No, but
Because
now
what if
he-
there's like something
What
like
if it's just like I just took his Darkseer? That's it. Like he just
he
transferred
goes
his
back and plays,
Darkseer.
he's just like, what the fuck?
I can't do these black holes in it. I can't these walls and vacuums. And then Roland's coming up in the scene. He is an only Darkseer player, but no one bans it or picks it for some reason. So he's just winning TI6.
Darkster wasn't ever incredible.
Well, we didn't see him much. It was
Yeah,
dude. We saw this pretty much
Secret went out 7th.
Oh, 7th?
Yeah.
7th, 8th.
Oh, okay. I thought they went out for. Well, good for them. They fucking played well.
And you know what I don't like is some people are like, see, look what happens.
Well, I got an interview.
Secret, and it's like they finished at 7th, 8th, guys, with 800K.
I won't talk about that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll stop. I keep saying that. Eric's giving me a look like, shut the fuck up about all those the interviews, because I was like, I got an interview with this guy that said this, because I was just doing.
I wasn't giving the face.
Did you guys notice that people were critical of people that did really well in a world tournament, like world class tournament? Still,
that's what fans do.
Yeah, that is what fans.
When
do.
Eli Manning misses a throw, yet he lands 900 out of 1,000, 950 out of 1,000, but he misses that one. People are like, boo, Eli Manning, interception football.
Pretty good, man. Like they've brought back a lot of money this year. I was looking at their tournament winnings this year, and Secret's done pretty well for themselves.
Well, they took third in
they
KC.
have.
They took and they won a couple of tournaments in between. We know.
Yeah,
and then
They won
Smaller.
the Summit, or not the the Summit.
Yeah, the Summit.
And then they won ESL 1.
Their problem is just
ESL
getting their
won
fucking
Frankfurt.
asses handed to them.
And then they won another land. They won 3.
This meta's
4
rough
in a
for them.
row.
I think at the
I'm not
first
a
meta
pro,
it was,
so I don't know. I
easier.
know they won those 2. No, their performance was awesome. They're all excellent players.
We got to see a couple good games with them. Like I would have liked to see them go deeper, but just because they would have been interesting. I wanted to see Virtus go deeper too. You know,
I
liked the fact that everybody was wrong.
I think
yeah,
Luna
I did too.
It made everybody not know what the fuck was going to happen.
Yeah, I put them as number 1, of course, my prediction.
Everybody
I put EG as
did,
second.
dude. Not one
I got
person that
EG.
we talked
No,
to.
he put
put
Cyphus
EG.
put EG as
Nobody
first.
asked him. None of the people that we talked to
Maybe they fucking
in the
should've.
interviews. I can't remember who I think I had that and then changed it after we did the week of like fucking talking to
I know.
everybody because man that just skewed my whole
even though that week I didn't let it deter me. I kept EG number
bleed
1.
blue.
Look,
But I had Secret. I
no.
had Secret at 3rd. That's at 3rd.
The thing about Dota is there's so many players. I feel like it's yes, you can have a team, but you can also have a favorite player. Like I'm not gonna lie, when EG was looking like they were going to beat LGD and go on to the finals and play CDEC again, I was like, oh my god, like, because I mean, I talked to you guys where, like, no offense, LGD and CDEC, they would have been great games, but I was like, dude, do you guys want to like leave early so we can get back earlier?
Sacrilege.
Like, I literally said that.
Almost threw you off. The
I literally,
deck, dude.
and Eric's like, I mean, if you want to miss like a one in a lifetime opportunity, we could do that.
no, I think he said if you want to find your own ride back, you can do that.
No, I agree. I agree with you in the sense that like
the hype wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't have because it was not.
Although the Chinese were bringing hype, they were bringing it in cargo ships.
It was
dude.
so funny to hear because there was that section in the bottom part of the arena,
the very noticeable flagged sliver.
Yeah, no, there was like a whole, but they were loud.
They were loud.
That chunk could blow the.
They
fuck
were
up
Chinese. They were devote, dude.
When they went, all the rest of the Chinese in the stadium knew it was okay to go.
Yeah.
They were like the go, like the Chinese go, and then everyone else just. But there was no shortage of sound coming out of the Chinese teams, dude.
And they would not clap. They would not clap if something didn't go their way. They were very like, huh. Yeah. And we were in, remember those guys we were in the elevator with, where I was like, "Who are you rooting for?" And they're like, "LG." Were they voting for CDEC or LGD?
I think they said China Dota or something.
Or Chinese Dota. And I was like, "Well, I'm obviously voting for." Or they made the assumption that we were EG fans, and I wanted to be
so we formed.
You're just gonna go ahead and assume that of me?
We four-guyed 2 Chinese guys in an elevator. They were in a closed, confined space, and he starts throwing down on who you going for, EG or what. Like, they probably were like, fuck, dude, I don't know what to say in this situation.
And
this could be dangerous
they
for
seemed
us.
very confident. They were like, huh, dumb Americans. Like, we're gonna take this thing like we did last year. And so that was kind of my moment of vindication when I saw those, like...
So, on that point, though, seeing the ultimate Chinese finals... I think would not have been anywhere near as exciting as seeing like the U.S. portion chanting USA. I mean that shit happened.
EG.
Seeing that going on, seeing that like in a weird way, bringing kind of like the nationalism into it, made it all the more like World Cup-esque. You know? There were fans like we actually had something to root for instead of us being like, oh, let's watch an interesting game of Dota and see which Chinese team wins.
What was on the TV when we went to get dinner later that night?
Yeah, the
international
local
coverage,
fucking news.
the local news covering the international. But that was a couple towns away.
Comes out of like ESPN and stuff, and some of the documentaries that come out of this.
We can talk about that.
Production going on.
Yeah,
we can talk about that, can't we?
Yeah, I don't see any reason why not.
I mean,
ESPN doesn't give a shit about who we are.
Sorry, ESPN, you told us this, man, and we're gonna leak it. We are up.
This may or may not even be a surprise.
No, this
may be out already.
This actually may be. Some people may not know about this, but it's obviously going to be well produced.
Yeah.
ESPN has been following EG for a while.
For months.
For months. I don't know months. We can't confirm that long.
Yeah, no, he said that they were at their training house with them.
But that could have been like
months ago.
Okay, months ago, but not 4 months.
I mean,
they weren't there every day.
that's
Like, what's up, RTZ?
Yeah, you don't
High
need to
five,
be there
man.
every
No,
day.
we're dropping an exclusive scoop. Get your quotes
Anyway,
out. Get your pen
You're
out. Gorgon, you writing this
you're
down, bro?
following everybody.
This was the whole
You're following
team.
them for months.
Cameraman,
by doing that.
Cameraman, soundman, and producer. The three. And we asked for an interview, and of course they're like, dude, we work for ESPN. Get the fuck out of here. And I was like, $50? No, I didn't really say that, but I really wanted an interview with them. But they're like, yeah, we're following EG. And they were leaving the tournament because EG had just lost to CDEC. And so they're like, we don't need to be here any longer. Like, we don't understand this shit. Our team just lost. And they don't really feel like talking to us.
Yeah, that's why they
He
left.
said-
He said because they had lost, they were basically unwilling to talk.
Maybe
to them.
that's where the bloodshot eyes come from. Maybe they stayed up all fucking night to figure out how CDEC worked and
that could be.
wrecked them.
That could be. They may have.
Like, the devotion in PPD alone, and I mean, the
I'm
inspiration.
not accusing Fear of being high at the tournament, all right?
I mean,
I just said
you
I just
yes,
knew-
yes, you did, though. You said he looks high.
It's legal.
I said I wondered if he did.
He's
I
not.
said I wondered if he... No, because he just, like, he looked...
Are you gonna Lance Armstrong him, dude? Where you just fucking steal all his gold medals, say he's on drugs?
They're all on Adderall.
It's legal. It's
Just
legal.
joking.
Pot's legal. there, guys.
joking.
Like, it's not like you're accusing him of...
No, I'm not accusing him. But I'm not even
Taking
accusing
speed
him
or
of doing
something.
something
There
stupid.
were a
before the
lot more
tournament, you know?
skunks in Seattle than I thought. I'll say that much.
On every street corner.
Hotel is
I want to tell the
a
story.
horticulture wing, dude.
I want to tell the story of the most interesting man we met on the way to the meetup.
Okay.
So we're on our way to the meetup. We have to park somewhere, and we see this big, huge, like heavier set white guy run out into the street, drunk with these women walking by, and dance with these women randomly, giggling, and then run back out. And we're like, what the hell? And this is just right by Gamma Ray Games where we were having our meetup. And this guy comes out and, how's it going, boys? And he's like, just trashed.
Yeah.
And we're all so uncomfortable. And we're trying to get our ticket out of our parking thing. And he goes, here you go. If you hit it, sometimes it gives you free money. And he starts hitting our machine.
So he's punching, and then it prints the ticket. It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm typing in 0808. 08, swipe my card. 08, swipe my card.
Yeah.
Then invalid entry. He's like, oh, this fucking thing? Gong, gong. Hits it a couple times and it just
Fonz
prints
it back to life.
the
Yeah,
ticket
pretty
out. And
much.
I'm like, wow.
And
thank
as
you.
we're walking away, he tells us to watch out for trannies. And also
Yes.
to, go get them, boys!
He said,
go get them!
he's yelling at us as we're getting further and further away. We can still see him, and we still hear, go get him, boys. Go get him. And yeah, he's like, yeah, dude, it's weird. There's this train. And it's like, what? Dude, we're just 4 random guys standing here. Like, why are you telling us this? Like, where did this come from?
Oh, but it's on the ESPN front, it was...
Oh, yeah.
To not
So
deviate from
they're doing a story on EG.
The other interesting thing that they talked about, I mean, because fuck it, they talked to us and they shouldn't have talked to us. We told them we did a podcast.
Yeah. They shouldn't have told
yeah,
us
they
all
shouldn't have told us
the
the
They
shit.
gave us
Nothing
way
was
too
off
much
the fucking
information.
record.
Oh,
Yeah.
what I think is hilarious is this is probably not even a surprise. Like, this story probably exists out there.
Yeah, I mean, but basically, like, they kind of confirmed some attitudes of various players. Like,
I don't think it's fair that we say who. That's where I draw my morality line. I don't
give a shit. I don't give a shit.
You don't give a shit?
I mean, it
I
doesn't
kind of
matter.
do.
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that every member of EG basically refused to talk to them. I think it's interesting that he said that, hey, they talked about, like, when they do other sporting events with teenage kids, they're always very talkative. Teenagers are fucking talkative. But Sumail apparently doesn't talk at all. Like, you remember he's like, hey, so what are you doing today? Playing Dota.
Yeah.
Hey, so how do you feel about that last game? It went well.
What was the coolest thing that he had to say was, he said PPD saved the day. He's like, PPD was a great interview.
He did say
He
that.
said PPD is smart, he knows what he's talking about, he's confident, and he's like, he's gonna win.
And that they're lucky to have him in
ESPN
space.
believed in PPD. Like, PPD convinced them that, like...
I think that just from you talking to him on the street, he presented himself in a very, very professional manner.
Yeah, and everybody calls him Salt Shake or whatever. Like,
yeah, he knows how to deal with the press, which I think is a huge thing for esports.
There's something that's happening as the years go
figure.
on. These kids are growing up. In front of us. Like, they actually are becoming more mature.
Yeah.
They're going through situations, having consequences to making bad choices and saying the wrong things, and they're fucking learning from them, and they're learning the benefit of saying the right things at the right time and the positive impact that can have, and kind of, the direction that the role they play in the community. And, when he stands there and he's talking to Roland, there was how many other people around there?
Oh, yeah,
there was like
against
30, 40 people that gathered around it.
Okay, that means something. So for them to recognize that and to be taking, that into consideration and using that for positive, that's a sign of growth in the scene.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, especially talking to the ESPN guys, like, we need more PPDs. We need more people who are personalities.
You need a figurehead to represent the
rolling
team.
the dice on that. It's a video
you need to get
game.
me hyped.
Yeah.
Because you also need the best players in the world.
Well, I just mean even from a PR standpoint. Like, the fact of the matter
Some
is, like,
teams may need a higher PR.
Well,
but you know what? Chuan is also very good.
Oh, Chuan
You don't
is
give
great.
Chuan nearly enough credit. He doesn't speak incredible English, but you can carry a conversation with him.
I thought his English was great.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
I thought he was hilarious.
He was hilarious, but like there are some things that escaped him. Of course, just like I can't speak two languages.
His ability to be hilarious without being able to speak English is
not-
a true
well,
testament to the genius of his comedy.
Linguists say, like, it's one thing to be able to communicate in a language, it's another thing to be able to be funny in a language.
Yeah, that means you. But
he knows what he's doing. I mean,
obviously,
he's an intelligent guy.
We weren't talking to him in his native tongue, is what I'm saying. Okay, and he just was hilarious. A great interview, a fun guy.
Even when we were interviewing him, he was funny.
Yeah, he was
not just the All-Star event, but like just talking to us casually.
And it was just like, I think 10v10 be fun. I mean, what is he, Russian? I can't. I do one accent apparently.
All your accents are Russian.
Anyway,
but I think you bring up an interesting point with the PR, because I think that some of these teams have a very distinct Twitter personality. Like, there's the Empire Twitter guy, and he is a person. Some of these teams might need a face, and whether or not it is a player, I mean, I think that it being a player is extremely helpful. But if you don't have that social, if you don't have that ability to do that, then bring a person in that can kind of speak for the team, can interact with the team in a way that's comfortable for them, and then come out and talk to fans and come out and talk to people and come out and say, hey, the guys are fucking wrecked right now. Like, I'm sorry, guys. I did get like these jerseys. They signed them, but they're beat up. And be a positive face and do that.
I'm going to drop one last. Black is another person that would be a great figurehead of a team. I'll say that much. I was like, I love your sniper. He's like, we were acting like we were sniping each other and doing headshots as we were walking away. Like, that's the type of guy this was. Like, I approached him and then I was like, pew, 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 and he was like, do after me, and I was like, I got shrapnel on you. He's like, no, you didn't. I blocked it. No, you didn't. And it was just like a fun, like, playful experience that was like, what a cool guy. What a fucking cool guy. Like, these are just people. And when you treat them as such, they act like people. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think there's, the point I'm trying to like drive it all towards is, but thinking from like a professional, corporate, popularity-based kind of a thing. That if you want esports, like if you want more content creators to be able to generate content and be successful and sustain themselves doing that, right? Which I think is what a lot of people would love to fucking do. Especially if you're a fan of video games. I mean, Wazoo, you and I talked about, like, yeah, wouldn't that be the fucking dream, is to be playing video games or working with video games or doing some gaming for a living? That would be a blast. If you want to do that, you've got to have people that are willing to, I'm sorry, but suck it up. Because in other sports and other things that are like incredibly popular, when you lose a game, you got to come out and talk to the press. The press is gonna walk up to you and say,
that may not have been the reason, though. I mean, they may have been like, we just got beat by these guys. We know we're going to take LGD. We know we're going to see them in the finals. Let's make sure we practice on how we're going to beat C-Deck in the finals.
Well, that's something that can also come through the evolution.
That's an assumption that is not fact.
That is what they.
Maybe they didn't want to talk to ESPN because they just lost and said, how do we fix this? We need to talk as a team.
But you can't. What I'm saying is, when that happens in sports, you don't get to just, like, in the middle of the World Series, when you lose a game. The next day, you play another game in the World Series, right? In
And
baseball.
you'll interview the next day, right?
No, you will interview after the game, and they will talk to you about what went wrong, about the big play that you missed. You got to be willing to do that.
Devil's advocate, this isn't basketball.
That's baseball.
It's baseball, but
Baseball.
This isn't the bowling tournament.
You want it to be. You want as many similarities as possible
because then it sucks in that natural audience with those sports.
Because now we're limiting our audience with that.
Here's the thing:
that type of attitude,
the media. Here's the thing: you can make that point about how they should be that professional, but the interviewer Casey, whatever her name was, wasn't to the level of professionalism.
No,
She was
I'm
super
talking about
professional. She just
ESPN.
didn't know about the game.
Exactly. So
that's
you
a
have
different
people that
thing.
are asking questions that are pointed about the game. She's a great interviewer for that
She
common
was- and
audience.
she hype,
but
too.
for analysis and stuff, not a chance. And then you have an analysis desk where they can't really bring the players over because it was.
And you
set
could
out
see
in the
how
middle
it
of
was
the
set
arena.
up. Like, if you were
Yeah.
there, it was not set up like
So-
you think in your mind it is
If
set
they had
up.
like
Yeah.
a traveling team that had like some really great, I don't know, like Merlini type.
She
people.
was
They
so
have-
nice. To
they're gonna
defend
happen,
Casey,
but-
she was really, 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 really nice. And she
I don't
admitted,
think she's an
like,
untalented woman
I'm not
at
criticizing
all.
Casey, and
Yeah.
in fact,
Yeah.
she's not even like the example that I'm thinking
sorry.
of here.
But she wasn't there for analysis. She was there to provide that
The hype.
comedy
Hey,
and the hype.
The
ESPN was though, and ESPN was there to talk to. I mean, I'm sorry, but
I don't know.
that was the equivalent of being mid-series in the playoffs in any other sport. You've got a game the next
so
day.
you're saying they were unprofessional?
Yeah, I do think that's unprofessional. Like, I'm sorry, I can't have an opinion and criticize.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
You
I'm sorry,
absolutely
you know.
can. I just wanted a clarification.
Yeah, I do. I do think that's unprofessional, and I do think that type of
And
behavior,
the thing is,
and it does
they're
exist.
up there
It's-
in professionalism.
as many
EG's,
nice-
like other teams would tell them to fuck off. Like tons of teams would tell them to fuck off. I think.
No,
I think
I'm
that's
not
a
saying it's
standard.
just EG.
I think that's a standard.
I am criticizing EG specifically because they're the specific in this scenario. But I think that applies to all players, and I think there can't be, if you want this organization to grow, like if you want to keep playing Dota, like that's what I would tell those teams. Like, if I wish I could be the GM of Dota and get in there and say to, like, I would pull players together and have a big fucking meeting and I'd say, listen, guess what?
We're going to
Do
implement
you
a
want to play
players
Dota?
union.
Yeah, well, do you want to play Dota next year for $16 million again? For $18 million again? Do you want to do that? Then guess what you have to do? You got to get it more popular. Do you want to play it next year for $25 million? Do you want to play it the year after that for $35 million? We got to increase our viewership. We got to increase our fans. We got to think about things.
That is an
I
example.
don't think
I don't
Valve
think they
gets that
care
involved
about
in the
that.
teams at all.
But
No,
he's
Valve
not saying
doesn't.
Valve. He's saying individual team managers or what have you.
I think the players are young kids and they just want to play the game.
I
And I think
actually-
that's the main problem.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I don't mean to cut you off. I just...
No, go ahead. That's all I wanted to say.
So
I just
on-
think they're young kids.
On the Valve front, and I do mean Valve, and the reason I mean Valve is because when you look at the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL,
A billion people, more than a billion people tune into the
right.
The
okay,
Super Bowl.
but that argument, what your stance here,
Like you have such a
cannot-
bigger pool to pull from.
I know, but that cannot continue to be the argument. That
No,
cannot,
but for now it
because
can
that's
be.
We
limiting-
can surpass
No,
it.
because
We
that's
can.
yeah, we can surpass that, and that's a limiter. Like with that attitude is why pros
I'm just
don't
saying
talk to
we're-
ESPN after a fucking match like that.
Because they need to do things more. We're in our infancy, dude.
Do you know what I think?
I know, but I'm saying you at some point you got to grow.
They are. And dude, look at last. Do you know that cool collage that they did? Sorry, the cool collage that was TI1, TI2, TI3, TI4,
Yeah, that's
TI5, to you know, like how it grew from this like small, big, holy shit, Gatorade, like it's fucking huge. It was really cool.
You know what I think happened? I think PPD picked the Razor in the second game against LGD because they didn't want to reveal how strong his gyro or another carry was, and so they ended it at 20 minutes right when they knew they couldn't come back. I think they denied the interview because they didn't want to say anything about that. Really, they just
wasn't
going to
be released though.
I think you're.
I think
yeah,
that's
that's
like
true.
tinfoil hat
I
shit.
think you're correct though. I think they wanted to go back and figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think.
No, I do too. But I'm saying, what kills you to talk to the press for?
But
15
the
minutes?
press, it's not like it was national on air TV though.
It
It was
will-
an interview to come out later.
right on national TV. with ESPN. I'm sorry. I just like, and at some point down the road, don't you want it to be that big?
Sure.
Don't you want ESPN
Well, it was shown on
2
ESPN,
or 3?
guys. It has been shown on ESPN too. Remember that thing from last year?
But like, don't you want them doing what they do with other players? Like, don't we want to start following players like that? Don't we want to start building our? Don't we want to?
We do, but we have this thing called the social media that, like, I can get anything and everything I want from every fucking player. We saw Zai delete all of his friends. We saw the all the tweets of all the pros talking about the games and fear.
Right, but all that shit floats out in this weird, zeitgeist of the fucking.
No,
web.
it's not zeitgeist because it's coming straight from the dude's mouth.
I know, but I'm saying you don't have a centralized location. Like, it doesn't like really properly end up getting reported because all of this shit happens out in the ether like that, and we don't really have a good.
Here's another difference. Here's another difference.
Press.
I understand if you win, you make a little bit more as a basketball player, right? If you win the whole thing, so, or is your contract the same? I'm not positive. I'm sure you get a bonus. I know you get a ring. I know you get the pride. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
And advertising and
these guys get contracts.
No,
these guys
absolutely make more.
How they eat their macaroni and cheese or whatever they were doing before they got big, because they had to have just been playing Dota to get as good as they are. It was by winning these tournaments. You know what I mean? They weren't brought up with like a GM. They weren't brought up with a PR manager. They weren't.
That's changing now.
And then it will change. I agree with you, but like them
EG's
doing
a team
that,
with a
them
salary.
doing that
But
this tournament wasn't a big deal.
I feel like all of that gets.
We weren't going to see it anyway. The crowd wasn't going to watch it on the big screen. Like it wasn't going to.
I know, but that's also because this is a two-sided coin.
It's not time sensitive, I guess.
It is time sensitive, though. It actually is.
You want to just catch them in the okay. So you want to see them in their deepest hole. Maybe it was a plan.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a plan, and what if they get on there and they reveal it? There's way more mind games.
It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. At some point, you're going to have to deal with.
Maybe they did mean to pick that razor to lose that game, to know that they were going to go up against LGD to
Not
get
to
into that
lose it
final.
necessarily.
Then you don't have to talk about that with the press.
I think they were looking for weakness.
You can avoid that discussion when they ask you why did you pick the razor in game 2. You can go, yeah, that was kind of a bad move. I don't really know why we did that.
Which I don't think
We
they
felt it was
intentionally
strong.
meant to lose at 20 minutes. I think
I mean,
they wanted to win in the upper
Why
bracket.
GG at 20 minutes then? Why not try to play it?
Because
done, dude.
I think just like we do GG and 80-12 where we know we're beat. They were beat, dude, and they're like, are we going to gruesomely sit through this and lose horribly? Or are we going to say GG, get the fuck over this, and figure out how to beat these guys?
No,
because these guys are sweeping the fucking
I'm more
tournament.
inclined to believe that that's what happened.
Yeah.
And I agree with you there. I'm just saying, I'm sorry. I feel like too often, like my criticisms of Valve, and like even with the
Valve.
criticisms of yes, I guess Valve to a degree, the way that
They are
kind of
doing a
structured
major league
esports
thing.
shit.
This like
Yeah, and that was my criticism before. Is like, oh, Valve doesn't really like step in and get involved the way that you need. Like,
But
an
there's that whole
organization
riot
like
discussion.
MLB.
This is so deep. You're like treading on water. You're
But
like
hey, Valve's
walking
already-
on
Valve's
an
already-
ocean of content right
Valve's
now.
already stepped over to do that. Valve's already they've already stepped up. They are doing the hey, we're gonna have 4 tournaments. Hey, we're gonna hand select the 4 tournaments. Hey, teams, now you can't change rosters. Like, this is stuff we talked about beforehand. And even when I brought that up, I feel like every time beforehand, and you can go back and listen to that episode. I think even Gorgon disagrees with me in that moment, and you as well. And everybody says, well, this isn't traditional sports. Well, this isn't that way. They aren't that way. It can't be that way.
I remember
because it's
tending
not
to
that
agree
way.
with you, honestly. I remember tending to agree that having a more structured style instead of a million tournaments spread all across the globe where travel costs don't even meet if you take first place. So it's just like, what the fuck? I can't play in all these tournaments, have my players playing shitty because they're jet lagged, because the second they get in, they have to hop on a computer and play at a world-class stage. Like that Valve stepping in, they stepped in the right way, which is just saying, hey, look, you can't just fucking jump ship.
Yeah.
You got to stick with it, no matter how bad it is, to make sure.
I'm optimistic.
I think it's going to be
No,
good.
I am as well. Don't get me
You're
wrong.
going to have to grow.
I just feel like you can only do so much as the creator of the games. You design the game, you do all that, you support it with chess releases and stuff, but it does come down to the players. It comes down to the organization and how well you're able to wrangle your players and tell them, look, this is an organization where you can't act like a petulant little child on a world stage.
Right.
And if you do, we'll find someone who can do what we need you to do.
But
Or if you do, you get a stern talking
unfortunately,
to.
that's the thing you can't do.
Yeah,
and that's
because they're the best.
Right.
They're going to be the best. Doesn't matter
They're
what
gonna
they
You
be
do.
the
can
best,
always
no matter
find
what.
someone else sometimes.
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
Well, yeah, but then
Valve
you end
can't
up with
step-
like the replacements.
But look
where
at
it's
someone
all the
like
second
someone like
streamers.
Arteezy, man. Like EG was undoubtedly going to pay that guy a contract. He left because he didn't want that rigor. He wanted to play with the free team. You know what I mean? That gave him more freedom as a person and a
I
personality.
think he wanted to be on the best team in the world, and he
Yeah.
mentioned many
But
times
EG
that.
gives contracts to all their players for 6 figures.
I know. Well, he
At
was
least they
saying
did in
TI5 that they all played individually well, but they didn't play as a team. I think that's paraphrasing. And I think that he saw an opportunity and took it, and people are, fucking saying he's the worst person in the world because of it. No, he's a young guy. He took a risk, and guess what? Everybody knows who Team Secret is. Everybody who plays Dota knows who Team Secret is.
They don't
Actually,
sell all that
after
stuff.
listening to Wazoo.
Like they don't sell like the little pendant and stuff. Like all that. Secret doesn't take advantage of those little things because they're a team of ideals in a way. They're a team of
They're an all-star team.
yeah, exactly. But there's also
And
an ideal
what
there
Team
of
Secret
not being
merchandise is
corporate, not
available?
being Navi, not being Alliance,
Not
not
that I'm aware
being
You can
their
buy the
own.
Team
I'm sure
Secret
there's
jersey. We saw plenty of people.
jerseys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the little pendant, that you can just buy in the shop.
They're
Or
just-
little-
they just
those
started
are,
up,
Those
dude.
are actually limited. No, a lot of those are from previous TIs.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you can sell that stuff and like
So-
couriers and shit. They don't take advantage of that stuff.
On your
don't know.
comment earlier,
Sets.
I want to revise that a little bit. I guess I like what Valve is doing. I like how Valve is stepping up and kind of taking control and kind of taking that organizational structure to maybe make Dota 2 the equivalent of another sport. Like, hey, what do you play? Oh, I play soccer. Oh, I play Dota 2. I like what they're doing in that regard. I think Valve is doing some awesome things that are going to standardize this as an organization. I would say my criticism is more on the teams, like the players. They get out there and do, and don't get me wrong, there are a ton of good players, as we can attest. There are a ton of good players that are out there that are willing to talk to you, that like talking with you, that want to have a conversation and give good interviews and or even just make you laugh and will take a picture. I mean, they're really nice guys. But there are definitely players, and the internet can attest to this, that are unwilling to speak to the media immediately afterwards, are unwilling to do the things that would make this more popular.
So here's where I disagree with you. We are never, ever going to be, I hate using the word mainstream, but we're never going to be compared to basketball or soccer. Just like poker isn't compared to basketball and soccer.
Oh, sure.
A wise man once said on this show that basically we are seeing the transition from more physical, less mental, to more mental, less physical. As in, yes, you still need to be physically fit to be on a team. You still need to make sure you're active. I mean, it's definitely going to make you a better player. I'm sure there's studies you could do on that that's going to make you a better player. But you don't need to rigorously physically, work out, I guess, to be the best defense or the best basketball player or the best runner or something like that. And that is where the distinction's always going to be drawn.
Well, but there is
it's not going to be like, my favorite soccer team's this, my favorite baseball team's this, and then my favorite Dota team's this. I think it's going to be either you're an esports fan or you're an esports fan and you're a fan of
Well, but it is that
basketball.
way of everything else, though. I mean, it is that way
Sure.
of basketball.
I just don't think it's ever going to be compared.
As much as you and I love poker, I think esports stands a better chance of going mainstream than poker.
Well, fuck yeah, it does, because it's ever evolving. Poker is static.
It's also more visually appealing, and it offers that team sport.
The same things,
capability.
statistically, the same things will happen every single time. In poker, not every single time, but you'll see most combinations and most crazy things. In Dota, there are way more variables.
Yeah, and that both makes it more interesting, but at the same
But
time,
more complicated.
inaccessible.
It's a blessing and a curse.
There's this whole element as well that it's an introverted activity in a lot of ways for a lot of people. It's not something that everyone does for a community-based thing. They go on and they mute everybody and they play solo, And some people that have gotten very far in the game have some more introverted tendencies. Not everyone's like Big Daddy No-Tail, who likes that type of thing, and their personality goes along very well with it.
Yeah, he's good at getting people hyped.
Yeah.
I mean that Dota 2 champion
different
match.
people.
I guess that's what I'm
although
saying. I just
don't-
want more guys like him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he's
and
a
I watched
gold
his
standard, I
backstory.
think.
Whoever did those videos, Valve, excellent job. Like, whoever did those backstory videos with everybody, I think everybody, like, every single one either made you smile or cry a little bit. You know what I mean? Where you wanted everybody to win after watching those videos and learning, like, who are these people? Like, that's been our goal with everybody we've had on, is like, I don't care what you do in Dota, although we're a Dota 2 podcast. Tell me who you are. Tell me what you do. And that's kind of what we got to see with these like legends, you know what I mean? Where it's like I've seen No-Tail play Wisp, and I've watched his highlight videos on YouTube where the top 25 most excellent plays by his Wisp, and he's a cool guy. Like, it was cool to, like, he loves his mom, he loves his dog, he loves his girlfriend, he loves Dota. Like, he's a person too. Yeah. You know what I mean? They're all people. Whoa! Whoa!
It was definitely humanizing the entire tournament. They did that very well. And
production in general.
Yeah, it was incredible.
When that Zeus ult went on, that was my first experience, was walking.
We should explain this. When you are in the stadium, if you were sitting in the first level, the lights were basically right above you, and certain abilities, I can't say every single one, but a good majority of abilities did a special light show effect in the stadium. So you could literally be having your back to the screen and know, and to have earplugs in and know that a rocket flare just went off, or a rocket
call down.
Call down.
Well,
Excuse me,
call
down.
Call down.
Call down was cool. Song of Siren was really cool too. Song of Siren lit the stadium up, and it was like, oh.
Razor's Static Link was my favorite because it just had that electric current just running along the top of the stadium the entire time it was running.
Oh, you guys, like, it just made me...
I was not expecting that in the least.
I don't know what this makes me, like, a guy that, like, I always need something bigger and better, but it just made me think, holy shit, what is TI6 gonna look like? Yeah. Like, the whole time I was like, if they can pull this off TI5, TI6 is gonna be, like, way beautiful. What's TI20 gonna be like? You know what I mean? Like, is Dota gonna be around? Like, is there gonna be some new game that everybody's jumped ship to that is just revolutionary? Oculus Rift? I don't know. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Reborn beta. The game will still be in beta, but it'll be Dota 3.
I mean, if I would ask you in 2010, the night we both got StarCraft and we both started getting into watching Pro StarCraft, would you have said that StarCraft was going to wane after 4 years?
No. And I wouldn't have thought, like, a $20 million video game tournament would ever exist in my lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what has happened, Eric? I mean, if I would ask you in 2010 when StarCraft came out, are you going to be at a tournament 5 years later that pays $20 million?
No.
And then
it got bigger than anything.
And the creme de la creme is meet all those people. You know what I mean? They, like, people meeting LeBron James, you probably got to wait in a huge line and he shakes your hand, takes a picture next.
Unless you paid some amount of money to
or like you got VIP back seats,
and you know that's this scene in its infancy right now. We're a part of it, and to say that it's in its infancy right now, and we just put together a $20 million tournament
is crazy.
That's the reality of the situation. That's why you can bump into Zai on the stairs.
Yeah.
You won't bump into Zai on the stairs. You will only get to hear that from ESPN and 5 years down the road, and that's actually unfortunate. You should appreciate the fact that you're bumping into Zion on the stairs, because he's going to be contracted to take a hallway that goes by no people, because ESPN paid money to have the words that come out of Zai's mouth after that match, and he's going to, if he doesn't do that, then he's going to take a $30,000 fine because he's a part of a players union that has him locked into a deal that says you talk to ESPN after your game as part of this post game.
Right.
It's a
blessing and a curse.
It brings it to the masses, but right now, we're there and we're experiencing it, and Roland gets to walk up and talk to Zai.
Well, and I think that's a reason for, if you're out there, to everybody that didn't go this time, and we, more than anybody, understand not going. I mean, shit, I think
almost didn't.
Maybe all four of us shouldn't have gone, because we dropped a fuckload of money on this trip.
Hopefully we did a good job bringing some of it to you guys, though. Hopefully... You guys at home were able to see what we were doing and hear what we were doing and watch some of what we were doing. And as these interviews start coming out and what we've got coming up for you, hopefully you're able to kind of share in some of the experiences that, at least Roland was having all over the place.
And
we will bring GI to you as close as possible.
Met everybody.
Oh, speaking of, let's just put the disclaimer out there, guys. If you didn't get a ticket, but you could have still got to Seattle, fucking go. There was not a single moment where there were not tickets for sale cheaper than what they cost when they
Or
came
the
out with
same
event.
price.
Not a single time, not
Yeah.
once.
So
Saturday, the licensed scalpers were
Licensed
like
scalpers.
You can get a license to scalp. They
which
were
is a
selling
great
them for like
idea.
$50.
It's just a great idea.
It's gonna happen anyway. You're not gonna police it. May as well just license it and make some money off of it.
yeah.
And worst case scenario, you come hang out at Gamma Ray Games with .P and 82L. 82L,
yeah.
Jordan Hansen, thank you for throwing that, dude. That was
a
a great
time.
event.
Yeah.
Dude,
So
all the
much
people
fun.
that we met there.
Oh, so many cool
So
people.
getting to meet Gorgon, man, it was great getting to meet you. Getting to meet Toffees, it was great getting to meet you. All
Seth
the original
Radford,
people.
Jordan
New
Hansen.
Metamedia, if you guys are listening.
Yeah, New Metamedia. You know maybe
Roland
the
thinks you're going to blow up. I think that you need a little more time in the oven. If you'd like some coaching tips, maybe some mentoring.
No.
.P's here for you. We'd love to take you
what
under our
impresses
wing.
what impresses me about New Metamedia
The
is
shirts are hot.
They
They have a human resources department.
they planned. So
We do
what?
too. It's you now.
Yeah.
Congratulations, EZ.
I just masturbated all over this room. Somebody call human resources.
The difference between us and them is we started the podcast with nothing. Like we didn't have like specific roles or specific things that we were good
even
at.
all the
I guess I did the audio and you uploaded it and we all talked together. Like that's kind of what happened. You know what I mean? We all had to manage our Twitter
Kiss of
accounts.
death. Here comes
These guys-
organized
these
content
guys-
creation.
These guys come out of nowhere, come out of left field, casting for 82L, and all of a sudden there's like 5 people involved in New
5 or
Metamedia.
6 of them there. I can't remember.
I mean, I have plenty of interviews. They were all really, really nice. Yeah, and what impressed me is that they have a guy that does the camera and the audio. They have a guy that does the interviews. They have, a social platform like consultant. Like they're small, but they have the workload there that they can.
Poised. They know they have everybody's roles.
Well, that's been our
identified.
biggest issue. If we had like all the time in the world, we could do a bunch more with this. And I mean, we're now getting a bigger staff, as you can see, like EZ full-time, Blue full-time, a Defense of the Patients member helps us out with everything. EZ does all video for us, does everything you see with video. I haven't even fucking touched once. Cyphus hasn't touched, Wazoo hasn't touched. That is all EZ's doing.
I think I edited the tags on the Undying video. I think that's the one thing I can claim I did.
you
On
did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have touched
And
them.
even EZ went back in and had to correct that.
Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. So it's what they did is right out the gate. They started out with roles, and as we've become bigger, we've had to kind of, we found people throughout the community and brought them on. And
They have roles, and we're rolling with it.
we're Roland with it.
They can't see
Thumbs
your
up.
cheesy thumbs up, dude.
I don't know. Yeah, I think the best time was just so. Let's go through everybody we met just involved with the show. Just the show.
Okay.
Up to this point, we met the first person to walk up to us because of the .p logo was
Who?
Chaos.
Chaos.
What's up, man?
And who was like, I don't follow you.
It
on
was
Twitter.
right after the PPD interview, and
Yeah.
it was like he's like .p, and it was like.
This is gonna be fucking awesome.
I was like, hi, oh my god, we just haven't even walked inside yet. What's up?
Seeing him there, and he's like, well, I don't follow you on Twitter. I'm not in the guild, but I love the show.
No, he said he just got in the guild 3 days ago.
Oh, yeah, he had just gotten
Yeah,
in.
yeah. And he's like, I can't wait to play with you guys. And since then, found us on Twitter and said it was so much fun hanging out with you
Yeah,
guys.
It was awesome seeing him. He was at the finals with us.
Yeah, he sat there for the
that was
final
awesome.
games with us, and he saw.
And he was hyped, dude. It
Oh,
fun
he was
having him in
loudest
the
of
group,
all
dude.
of
It
us.
was fun having him
You'll
there yelling
hear
with
him.
us, dude.
I was recording that whole thing, so you'll be able to hear Chaos just screaming in the background, just like bleed blue, bleed blue.
So after Chaos, let's see, the next one we met was the Prince of Dew.
The Prince of
At the
Dew, we
CK
love
shop,
Dew.
we saw him because he recognized.
we
EZ,
met the Princess of Dew.
the Queen of Dew. Well,
Or
yes,
the-
the princess. Unfortunately,
Yeah, he can have. That's the princess.
The Princess of Dew.
I've got a queen of Dew at
We
home.
met Mr. Blue.
Yeah, that's right.
We met JKZ. We met Gorgon. We met Mally. We met Greg Laird.
Mally's an interesting story. Let's talk about that a little bit before.
Nameless noob, but we met.
Oh yeah, nameless. We'll hit
I'm
Mally.
sure there's like 18
Nameless Noob.
stories on Mally about his appendix. I'm
the other
sure
one
there
that yelled out .p at us was Brad Swagwagon.
Oh, we met.
Wagwagon
I
was annoying.
got to call the guy who called us pub trash. I was like, "You're a piece of fucking pub trash," and he's like, and I was like, all right, give me your worst. And he's like, "You're fucking terrible." And then it was just like, and the way he said it was like he meant every fucking word. But it was just a funny banter that we had with him. We saw him many times throughout the tournament.
We went out for smoke breaks with him and his two buddies.
Yeah, and they were fun guys. It was fun hanging out with them.
His buddy said was sleeping on his couch like 2 weeks before.
Swindle Melons. So he said he got Swindle Melons drunk and brought Swindle Melons to his house. Because Swindle Melons was so drunk he couldn't stand up, so he's like, I had to carry that motherfucker, and I put him down on my couch, and he woke up and didn't remember any of it.
Oh my god.
So yeah, they were funny guys. They were a blast. It was fun to meet the guy who left the interview that's like, hi, I really like your show. You guys fucking suck. Keep it up. And it was really fun to meet that guy because he just made us laugh like a million times. And
of course Dillanoid.
Dillanoid, nameless noob. Dillanoid was a hoot.
A riot.
He was the type of guy that just, he's gonna make you laugh. You're gonna laugh if you're around him. He has a high energy. Like EZ said at the start of the show, I think he does require 2 beers to be to be going. Although he had 2 beers, and he had one in the cup holder and one in his hand, and he had yet to get to the one in the cup holder. And there was a huge line for beers at this time, and I was like, dude, could I maybe like have a house?
He was that beer was there for him unless someone else needed it.
Yeah. And I was like, hey dude, is there any way that like I asked him, I was like, I mean I'll buy you a beer like after this, but can I have that one? And he's like, sure. And then I'm drinking it. I was like, "Hey, you want some?" He's like, "Yeah, just a pour." And so I pour some beer in his cup, and he looks at it with this like look of dissatisfaction, like that's not nearly as much as I wanted. And I was like,
"That's not enough of my beer back, dude."
Yeah. And I was like, "We'll just go have an half beer and then dump some more." And he's like, "Cheers."
Well, next time we run into him, we're buying him the drinks.
And I need to scream into my pillow for 5 days before TI so I can get my voice ready for TI. On the interviews, I was fucking losing my voice. It was such a weird feeling.
I think that does wrap up all of the .P fans that were there, though.
Yeah,
that covers everybody,
including my shitty voice. I hope we didn't miss anything.
No, I just wanted to make sure that we put one more thought towards.
Dude, we met so many fucking people.
You know, not talking about the 82
we met
people, people that we knew from the show. Not mentioning those people. Just
they were on the show. Nooksy was on the show.
I just want to specifically mention the people that came and hung out with us. That are people that we know through Defense of the Patient, which is just deserves special recommendation that I honestly put on a pedestal above every other interview and experience that we had.
It was a blast getting here.
Oh, and the Wanderer toffees. God, it felt like everywhere I went, I was like, oh, hey. It was like, we've already met, the first time we met, it was like, and it was like, we see each other 5,000 subsequent times.
It's fucking weird after that. You're just like, okay.
I just nod, just like, hey, how's it going? Like, hey, what's up?
You guys were both running that track. He just didn't want you to see his Tascam.
He didn't have a recorder, did he?
Yeah, he did. And sometimes he had a fucking camera.
Really?
And a microphone.
Yeah.
I know he got his article, published. Good for him. I mean, he's fucking kicking ass. His deal is, an interesting one too, especially now that I'm getting more into Pro Dota.
It was a blast at the Gamma Ray Games meetup. I got to kind of just sit outside, even though it was just me and one of the new meta media guys that were smoking. But Gorgon and Toffee sat out there. It was awesome to just get to hang out with those guys. I mean, it's very different.
Gorgon's a really good dude.
Yeah, he really is.
He has a big heart.
Who walks everywhere.
And the wise man that I was talking about earlier was Gorgon, who said that on our show on the very first interview.
Okay.
So he was the wise man that did say that, and I couldn't agree more. The first time he came on, we talked about physical fitness. It was episode 4, where players do need to stay in shape, but it's not as rigorous as, say, football or basketball or something like that. It's more a shift to the mind instead of the body.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's not who can run the fastest.
Oh, so Mally. Poor fucking Mally. Anybody who listens to this show...
This is another story for another time.
Oh, are we running late?
Yes. And Mally...
Late as in we've been up for 26 hours.
You two have it.
So,
EZ and Roland.
Literally, I am still awake from TI. So, I'm still, it feels like the same...
hyperbolizing, but...
It's,
it feels literally,
it's not literally the same day.
I mean, you did sleep for,
you slept, dude. You chunked out for a good chunk of time, bro.
I took my complimentary Dota bag, put Wazoo's dirty towel inside of it.
That was everybody's excuse for sleeping on that ride home.
And used it as a pillow. The bag with Wazoo's dirty fucking towel in it. to sleep, and
that was 100% more pillow than I had.
You guys all slept like guppy fish.
My head
your
was
mouths
like
were just like,
wedged into
Yeah, the difference was is ours weren't. That was you in the backseat, dude. It sounded like a wildebeest was like putting a blender or something.
He said that I sounded like Predator.
I'm like looking over, like waiting for him to go invisible. So he was gonna fucking hunt me.
All you see is the microphone come out, and people are like, "Whoa!" whoa. He's like, "Can I get an interview?"
All right, before we close it out, so we all learned about Roland snoring.
You were the worst.
Apparently, I was the worst.
Yeah, you snore worse than I do, but I make clicking noises.
But only one night.
You guys are in the diner.
Both of you snoring? It sounded like an episode of like .P. You guys will snore reply back to each other.
Oh wow, that's about how interesting it is.
It was like as if they recorded the audience during any one of our episodes.
Oh fuck no.
All right. Besides that, what's let's do one interesting thing we learned about each other on this trip.
Okay.
About like one thing about each person?
I mean, because we roomed together. That was an interesting.
Alright, go ahead and tell your
experience.
fucking story.
No, I don't have a story. What story do you think I'm about to tell?
I know you guys want to tell a certain story about me, and if you want to tell it, go ahead.
What story is he referring to?
Okay, never mind. I'm not referring to any story.
What story?
No,
is he
I'm really not referring
about
to
him?
any story.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I learned that people are way nicer out of the internet than they are on the internet. Like, just because you have like a random swath of like people on the internet that have been rude to you, like that doesn't reflect a community. I hear that Dota 2's community is like salty or terrible at sometimes, but like if this event is any representation where you have the most Dota 2 players packed into a space, like everyone was just so nice the entire time. And I think this community is filled with great people. You guys among them, and I don't know, I feel like a reforged friendship going on, and like more so with all of you, like a reforged type of brotherhood towards the game and what we're going to do with it and what it means to us.
Yeah, it definitely came out of it with that type of a thought process, and just getting to meet like all of these people just really, in my mind, solidified what it is that we've really been trying to do with .P and Defense of the Patient since the very beginning.
Yeah.
This community has been built on everything that we fucking saw there at the International.
Oh,
the
yeah.
internet, that toxicity, that is the vocal, very, very vocal minority.
That's the
what we saw at the International
minority.
was the majority. Yeah. All of those people are like, except for the one dude that was like very threatened by your Tascam, all the other fucking people, they're Defense of the Patient's people. Like, they are our guildies, dude. I never felt more at peace with the fucking massive amount of people as I did in that crowd. Like, I was telling King of Dude, like, in my real life, dude, I cannot look, and you guys have, it's not so much like that for you guys. You guys have a little something here, but for a lot of us, we can't look to our side and talk about Dota in our real life. I have not had real life conversations with people about Dota where you're looking in their face and you're going like, these fucking games, bro. Like, like we're Skyping that shit. Like, we're texting it. We're tweeting. Like, we all always like, Dota, EG,
or just like
blue hashtag.
Yeah.
There's nothing compares to fucking being in this room and talking to you guys about, like, this is so worth it that I just, honestly, dude, if you can't get a ticket, just fucking go. Guess what? Yeah. You can get to the grass right by the secret shop where a giant ass fucking screen is.
I think
you can watch for free, dude.
I'm pretty sure you can watch for free.
The park, it's a park, dude.
And some delicious food trucks that are just parked right alongside the grass.
You can enjoy the International. Just
if you don't even want to pay for
a
ticket, you don't even have
to.
Oh, and you'll still run into people. People use that entrance all the time.
Half the time
most of our interviews are
Worst
outside.
case scenario, guys, you watch it underneath an umbrella with delicious food and drinks, and you watch it on a huge screen with Dota fans.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I learned, okay? And this is kind of sappy, but I learned who my 3 best friends were.
Ashton Christ,
And they are
Fwashi,
and Red Eye.
and Raynessa.
It's funny that you said Flashy because she definitely is my So on the interviews,
he's got like a crush. Dude.
No, it's not a crush. No, her
It's
music.
like a respect crush.
No,
dude.
her fucking music.
crush.
I thought we Because, I mean, I'm not actively searching YouTube for, I guess, parody songs. I don't know why. Dota parodies in specific.
Who would do that? It's not like you were trying to fucking create one or maybe possibly put some.
I was just having fun creating parodies, and yeah, we got an email that said the songs suck, and I agree. Like, listening to them, they do suck because
No. What did Quash say?
No, it wasn't Brad Swag. It was a guy that was like, "Hey, I love you and everything," and compliment sandwich. Your songs suck. And anyway, you guys do great work.
And then he sent us a sketch.
Yeah, and then he sent us a sketch idea.
Will be reenacted on the show soon.
And then we got a song idea.
Send us your sketch.
But then we got a song idea sent to us.
Ideas to work, dude.
Absolutely.
So we'll do the song idea, and then we'll do his.
If you have a sketch, if you have a song, let us know. If you think you're super funny, we will tell you that you're not by taking every word you send us and making it one of the .P classic shitty intros that you're so used to. Yeah. But Fwashi did say to you, do not ever stop. Keep making parodies. Yeah. Don't stop. I think we hit her up. We collabed.
And then she said, "Ho ho ha!"
Yeah, because she was dressed as Sniper.
Yeah,
so I had like the inside scoop that was Fwashi. Anyway, well, Mally told me that's Fwashi, and I was like, "Whoa, I'm gonna get an interview."
Dota.
Yeah, Dota. What I wanted to say is, in the interview, I fuck up a lot. I noticed because I had to listen to them to identify which ones were on which, because it was saved as Tascam in numerical order, and I had to write down in a journal which clip went to what. I say, you are my biggest fan.
I know.
A lot.
To people who are like, who you must clearly not like, are not, they're not your fans.
Oh, I listened to it.
That's so fucking.
I listened to it.
Himself.
Yeah.
No, I listened to it, and I mean to say, I am your biggest fan. Is what I'm meaning to say.
I
I
call it a
promise.
Freudian slip.
Yeah,
Are you accidentally like exposed?
It might be, fuck.
Exposure
But I
inner
said that to
thoughts.
Fwashi, and as I'm listening to that interview, I'm like, oh, this is the Fwashi one. And it was like, hey, Fwashi, you're my biggest fan. And she was like, what? And I was like, but of course everybody was so nice, no one ever corrected me, and I needed to just be corrected once, and I would have never done it again.
So the name of the episode is going to be Roland Has a Million Fans.
Roland and all.
Hey, welcome. This is Roland. I'm sitting here with my biggest fan, Fwashi. I'm sitting here with my biggest fan, Red
No one can be a bigger fan than your bro.
We'll become the
exponentially more famous.
Oh, it was embarrassing. I'm not even going to cut it out,
Well,
though.
what are we at?
I'm just going to leave it.
Hour
you got
and
it,
20
you got it.
minutes here, boys?
Yeah, getting
It's
close.
Dota time.
It's getting close.
We're gonna become the Stephen Colbert of Dota 2 podcast. Everybody's just gonna be our fans.
Yeah, hey, welcome. You're my fan. How's it going? It's like, who the fuck are you? It's like I'm gonna get punched in the face
All right,
next
so
year.
to wrap this up, I'll echo all the sentiments. Like, it was fun to bond with everybody and just exist together.
And
for
my three best
4
friends are
days.
you guys.
Cool. Yeah, we know.
I want to kind of hype.
Okay, hype.
My project that we've been talking about doing for a while that will be involved with Guild and kind of more towards the competitive side of the Guild. Look for that the next week. You can find me on
Gonna hash
Twitter.
some things at or at the grand or what's his email?
At
.p _wazoo.
no, it's just
That's
.p.
my
Wazoo.
Oh, .p wazoo at gmail.
Yeah,
So you can email them there.
yeah, but we'll be hearing about that, and yeah, great time.
We're
I
gonna.
love
There's a
that.
lot of cool content to come, guys. It's just we are figuring out how
The
to
TI dust
release
is
it.
settling.
And the
Yes.
.p bodies is coming up.
The
Oh,
.p
yeah,
body.
the .p
There's
bodies.
so much content coming out, and it's finals. But after finals, I'll have like 3 weeks to get everything prepped, everything set, everything sent, everything posted, and everybody available to hear. Me, maybe I was the one that was on Adderall. Shit, it seemed like it, right? I was just like, pew, 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 pew. I was like Storm Spirit
Very
with a
focused.
regeneration rune, dude. I was just, and
Hey, what's up, everybody? Rolling from Defense of the Patients. I'm here with Black. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is
He
Rolling from
had to
Defense
do
of the
that,
Patients. I'm
though.
here with DK Fellows. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Rolling from
There
Defense of the
were-
Patients. I got PVD here. Hey, this is Rolling from Defense of the Patients. I found Ashley Christ.
yeah.
There were
You
so
were on
many
it, dude.
people who gave the, hey, can I have 30 seconds with you? And like, no.
And I didn't accept
like,
no for an
15.
answer. No, I would just be like 15, start recording. Hey, this is Roland with Defense of the Patient.
Yeah.
Like some people were given no choice.
You
and I
had to go
apologize.
fast. I mean, even like Casey Anderson, I was there with you in that.
When I just said, hey, can I walk and talk with you? Because she was so busy. She's like, I'm going to get on the main stage and like tell everybody to get
and that
hyped.
was all you
and
could
I was
do.
like, hey, can I just walk with you real quick? And she's like, absolutely. And I was like, Casey, you're doing a great job. And she's like, yeah. And I was like,
And they were swift and they were
super
quick, but
paying attention,
it was cool to get to chat with those people and give some, and just, I think when people hear all those interviews, which are to be released in some cool ways, when you do get to finally hear those, I think it'll expose to everyone, like, just how accessible this
The
entire
Dota
community is, and if you want to get on board,
You know
before
who?
it's not that
Maybe
accessible,
AC is my
you gotta
favorite
start
person.
showing up. AC was
We've said
awesome.
some shit about AC on this show, where I was like, "Oh, AC won't even get back to us." Okay, that's because this dude is big time. Meeting him, he's like he works for GG, who
Mally
owns.
won my heart.
Mally won your heart. Mally was a cool dude, but AC was just like, "Come here, buddy," and just like I was like, the wind fucks with my Tascam recorder, and the recording with AC ended up being really bad, not quality, but just quality.
Gotta get him back on the show then.
He said he'd come back on the show, but or he would come on the show and be interviewed, but he was just like bear hugging me the whole time, just side hugging me the whole time, and like we're holding the Tascam together, and it was just like, how's it going,
As
man?
we all tried to collectively block the wind from all
Yeah,
the
because the wind really fucked the Tascam, and I should have known to bring a wind.
yeah.
What these are called?
And he gave us his
What are
famous
these called again? I called these something.
pop
Filters. Pop filters.
He also gave us we should just use it like to open the show sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like greetings and salutations.
Greetings and salutations. It's like so exaggerated.
He was a super cool guy.
Yeah,
And-
he is
Because
so
we ran
good.
into him. We ran into him the first night, and this will be the last story, I swear. We ran into him the first night when we went to Agave with Dillanoid outside, and he was smoking, and we sat and smoked.
No, I went up and I said, "Hey, can I bum a cigarette?" I'll tell
Oh,
the story
that's
real
right.
quick. And he's like, "Yeah, man, for sure." Like he didn't know. He doesn't know who I am. I was like, "Do you know who I am?" And he's like, "No, I have no idea." And I was like, "Yeah, you do." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Oh, you're supposed to come on our show, remember?" And he's like, "Oh, fuck." And like I was just like, "No, I'm
Make
just
it
trying
sound
to."
like you were really confrontational. But
I know,
you
no,
really
I wasn't.
weren't.
I
You really
wasn't.
weren't.
No, but I just wanted. But he felt like super bad, and I was like, "No, don't feel bad. I was just joking, dude. No, I'm sorry." See, no. But no, we had a great time with him, and then we
Well, and thankfully he was smoking American Spirits, so we were able to sit out there and talk with him for a little while.
yeah,
Longer than
he
maybe
was a cool
would've
guy.
liked.
And then we saw anyway, whatever.
So he's still there finishing a cigarette.
Yeah.
Just finished 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, serious.
Only funny if you know about American Spirits.
Yeah.
serious.
All right, I'm going to close this out.
Okay.
Thanks everybody for listening. If you want to find us, we're defenseofthepatients.com. Follow us on Twitter @.p_show. You can find us on iTunes by searching Defense of the Patients, where we ask you to leave a review. Roland, we have a new review that we've not read yet, and it's not even that new. It's like we've neglected it for so long. We need to get to it at some point. really soon.
Roland bot on it.
And then let's see, Easy, Twitch, and YouTube.
You can find us on Twitch, and we haven't been there for the last couple weeks because of TI, but we will be there at twitch.tv/.ptv. What's a farting sound going on over there?
That's
That's the Roland
iTunes.
bot.
When you get on
Backfiring.
Roland bot YouTube channel, youtube.com/.ptv1.
.ptv1, numeric 1. Of course, defenseofthepatients@gmail.com, where, send us sketches. I can't remember the gentleman's name who sent us a sketch, but we're going to reenact that sketch for you.
It's
here
coming
on the
your
show.
way, buddy.
Yeah,
you think
we'll
you're
get
funny,
it.
dude? Here it comes.
Yeah, you're going to get to find out. See if you think.
And it's all on you, buddy, if it's not.
Yeah,
It's all
right.
on you, buddy.
Lord knows I'm doing my best.
That's right. All right.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Great content, balanced and informative. 5 stars. By Tenzig3. These guys do a great job.
Thanks, Tenzig.
Thank you, Tenzig.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you,
was short but
Tenzig.
sweet.
Sorry we could read that with a little more zest. We Roland bots.
The Roland bot is.
It was
Roland
Roland bot.
beers.
Yeah. Roland bot on it,
His
remember?
personality sensor's broken after the weekend. He used
Yeah.
all of the
Well, we
points.
had his
Fried,
personality
dude.
dialed up to like a 95 at TI, and then we had to dial it back down to like a 5, you know?
Oh, dude, I'm sure there were some people that are like, "Did that fucking weirdo come up to you? He came up to me 3 times. I told him no all 3 times, but he just wouldn't stop recording."
That would be funny to hear some side stories come up and just know, like, wouldn't be like, was that Roland, dude? Roland, they were talking about him. We should search Reddit, dude.
There was this troll
Do
at
some
the International.
screening, yeah.
Just stay in your VIP rooms. He will find you. He will force you to record with him.
All right, folks. Until next time, this is Cyphus for Wazoo, for EZ, for Roland. All live in studio together one last time.
Can we get a round of applause for the last year for Easy?
Yeah, absolutely.
For he's a jolly good fellow.
Oh, he's
It has
a
been
jolly
fun.
good fellow.
EZ, we're going to miss you, but damn it, you're
I will
gonna be
never
back.
sound like this again, whatever that is.
He's a jolly good fellow.
You sound pretty good. All right, until next time, good luck and Godspeed.